Today we're going to alter this pair of pants. We're going to shorten them, we're going to hem them. The customer pinned these pants themselves. So we're just going to kind of get the general feel. If it's, 2 inches we're going to take off in some spots, and we'll just kind of get the general idea for those because they will come in uneven. This averages from $10 to $15 for a plain hem, depending on where you live. Here I charged $14 for these. And sometimes for other hems I will charge a little bit more, maybe original hems and things like that, but typically it's $14. So I'm going to go ahead. This is Taylor's chalk. I highly recommend the wax chalk. Do not use the clay chalk because it doesn't come off, but the wax chalk is really great for alterations because it comes off with heat. So all I have to do is put my iron on these pants and the chalk will disappear. So we're going to go ahead and mark these pants here in the front and the back of where they've pinned. Take these pins out. Okay, so that's done. And I have them making sure that they're nice and even here. And that one is just about 2 inches there. We're going to go ahead and shorten these 2 inches. That's kind of the general measurement that we have here. So we're going to go up on our chalk 2 inches there and put a mark on both sides of the leg, and then draw our line straight across. And you're going to do it on the other side here as well. This is the other leg. That line will be the bottom of your hem. This pair of pants has a 1-inch hem, and you're always going to want to do whatever the factory does unless the client asks you for something different. So because it's a 1-inch hem, we actually need 2 inches of fabric. That way we can fold the pants and get the appropriate amount of fabric. I use a razor blade to open up my pants. Some people will use a seam ripper, but either is totally fine. And we just pick these up in bulk at Harbor Freight because they go through quite a bit of them. Plus you get a free flashlight.
Making this person blow.
Yes. We love trash lights. And so just very carefully, you're just opening up these pants. I'm just sliding it in there, making sure that I don't cut the outside layer. If you're new to sewing, you might want to go ahead and just use your seam ripper, but this is really going to save you a lot of time. Now we're ready to cut away the excess. So we're going to go 2 inches down here. We need that 2 inches of fabric and mark. So 2 inches down from the hemline and mark. It ends up being on that line that was the original hem. And then just cut the excess off. Okay, so now we're ready to sew. We've got our 2-inch line there, so we want to fold this piece under in half. That way you get your 1-inch hem. You're going to do a long stitch length, almost the longest that your machine can do. And right there on the edge. Okay. When these pants came in, they had a double stitch on the hem. So we want to duplicate that. I don't have a double needle, but if you do, this is the perfect time to use that. So what I'm going to do is use that stitch for my guide, the stitch I just put in, and we're going to put right there on the edge of our foot. And so that's kind of our guide. We're going to go nice and slow to make sure it stays pretty even. I always go a couple stitches over so it's nice and secure. Okay, and there's the finished product. It looks just like it did when it came in. I think they're going to be very happy with it. Okay, now we're ready to press. I use this gravity feed iron. I highly recommend them. They're great. got some steam right there. And so we just want to put a nice crisp press on those. This is a perfect time to tell you that if you use chalk and it leaves a little bit behind, all you have to do is scrape it with your nail and that chalk will come right off of there. We're all done.